Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Silvit Wongprasert, Faculty of Education, ราชภัฏกำแพงเพชร University. Today we're gonna tell a story named Beauty and the Beast. If you all are ready, let's get started. Chapter 1. Beauty. There was once a very rich man named Pierre who gave his 3 daughters everything they want. Bring us some rubies and silks from the market, demanded by Sophie and Mary, his eldest daughters. Pierre turned to his youngest daughter. Don't you want anything, Beauty? He asked. May I have some loaves? Asked Beauty. They always seem to die in our garden. I wonder why, said Mary. It's a mystery, added by Sophie. And such a shame when you love them so. Pierre waved goodbye to his daughters and galloped away on his sleek white horse. As he rode, a thick fog filled the air. Pierre couldn't see the path ahead or even his horse below him. He went on blindly until suddenly the fog rolled back to reveal to a towering castle. Pierre gasped, Where am I? Chapter 2. The Beast. The horse's hooves clattered up to the castle gates. They opened before him with a ghostly click. Pierre rode into a courtyard. As he raised his hand to knock on the castle door, it swung open. Hello? He called. No one answered. He tried again. Hello? But Pierre only heard his own voice echoing off the stone walls. Is anybody here? He asked. What's going on? He murmured, his heart beating faster. Then a mouth-watering smell made him forget his fear. Pierre followed his nose to an enormous feast. He sat down nervously. Where are the guests? He said to himself. A full plate floated over to him, and he climbed out in surprise. But he was cold and starving, and the food smelled so good. I hope no one minds, he thought. Picking up a silver fork, invisible hands poured him rich, sweet wine. Feeling full and tired, Pierre rose from the table. Instantly a bed appeared before him. Pierre was so exhausted to question it. He just lay down and fell fast asleep. He woke in a beautiful bedroom. A pile of clean clothes sat on the seat by the bed. They were just his size. I must find the owner and say thank you to them, Pierre thought, and set out to search the castle corridors. Invisible hands opened all the doors, but he couldn't find a single living person anywhere. Perhaps everyone's outside? Pierre wondered. In the garden, he found a beautiful rose bush. As he sniffed the blooms, he remembered his promise to Beauty. No one will miss one rose. The instant Pierre plucked a flower, a huge shadow fell over the rose bushes. He spun around, clutching the bloom to his chest, to see a hideous creature before him. Its eyes glittered fiercely. Before Pierre could climb out, it grabbed him and pulled him close to its angry face. Chapter 3. Prepare to die. How dare you steal from the beast? Demanded the terrifying creature. I gave you food, a shelter, and this is how you repay me? thief! I'm so sorry, said Pierre, trembling all over. The beast glared at him and gave a low growl. I will pay for the flower, cried by Pierre desperately. Yes, you will pay, said the beast. You will pay with your life. Please don't harm me, begged by Pierre. I just want a loss for beauty, for my daughter. The beast fixed his burning eyes on Pierre. I will let you live if you send the beauty to me. If she refuses, you must return in a week to meet your fate, he declared. Or I will come after you. I can't risk my beauty's life, Pierre thought. With a heavy heart, he told the beast he would return before Pierre left. The beast put a ruby bridle on the horse's muzzle. He will be able to find his way to your home and back, said the beast. The bridle will guide him. I'm home, called Pierre. As he came down the path, Beauty ran to him, smiling. How was the trip, father? Fine, said by Pierre. He couldn't bear to tell her the truth. As the week passed, Pierre grew thin and pale. What's wrong, father? Beauty asked. Nothing, he replied. Don't worry about me. That night, Beauty thought she heard him crying. She found him asleep at his desk. The morning, with a letter in front of him, she picked it up and started to read. Dearest daughters, when you read this letter, I will have left you forever. I took a loss from the garden of a monster beast, and he has sworn to kill me unless I bring him my youngest daughters. I could never do that to you. Beauty so have gone in your place. Farewell, your loving father. Oh no, cried Beauty. This is all my fault. Looking out of the window, Beauty saw her father's horse, saddled up, ready to go. She knew what she had to do. Quickly and quietly, she scribbled a note for him. Dear father, I have gone to the beast's castle instead of you. All my love, Beauty. Her father's horse seemed to know the way. He galloped down the twisting path as if guided by a magic force. As the beast's castle came into view, Beauty gripped the rein of fear. Chapter 4 Beauty and the Beast. First, the castle gates creaked open before her, then the door to the castle itself. This place must be enchanted, Beauty realized. She took a deep breath and stepped inside. Beauty tiptoed down a long and dusty corridor until she found an open door. It led into a sweet-smelling garden. But as soon as Beauty stepped into the sunlight, she heard a terrible growl. What are you doing here? Roared by the beast. I'm Beauty, Pierre, daughters, she stammered. He sent you to die, did he? The beast growled. Coward! Don't you say that, said by Beauty. She was so angry, she forgot her fear and glared at the beast. You have courage, said the beast, gazing back at her. As he spoke, Beauty was shocked to see a great tears forming in his eyes. What's wrong? She asked. Having you here makes me realize I have been alone for so long, sniffed by the beast. Oh, poor beast, said by Beauty, her heart filling with pity. I will stay with you if you like. The beast grabs her hand, his eyes shining with hope. Oh, thank you, he said gruffly. But you must let my father know that I'm safe, said by Beauty. The beast strode out to the courtyard and tied a note to Pierre's horse. Then set it on its way. That evening, Beauty and the Beast dinnered together. The Beast told Beauty a story about a princess who turned a frog into a prince with a kiss. In return, Beauty told the Beast all about her family and her life. You are a very good listener, she said. My sisters always interrupt me. The Beast looked at Beauty very seriously, then knelt before her. I know this is sudden, he said in a low voice, and I know I'm ugly, but will you marry me? Beauty said, Oh no, I can't. I don't even know you. The Beast said, Oh, very well, said the Beast, bowing his head. Good night, Beauty. Your room is next door, he added, and left her alone. Chapter 5. Beauty explores. Beauty dreamed of home and woke wishing he was there. Then, as she dressed, she saw a mirror by her bed. Peering into it, she was amazed to see her father eating breakfast at home. Seeing him safe and well lifted her spirit. It's time to explore, she decided, and set off down the shadowy corridors. In one room, she saw fairies performing a play on an enchanted stage. In another, she found a library with shelves that seemed to stretch to the sky. Here you will find every book in the world, boomed a voice. Books from both the past and the future. When Beauty went out into the garden, she saw exotic flowers and magical animals, but she didn't see the Beast all day. At 8 o'clock, a gong rang for dinner. The Beast was waiting for Beauty in the dining room. Did you find the mirror? He asked, eagerly. I love it, thank you, Beauty replied. After dinner, the Beast went down on one knee again. Marry me, Beauty. Please marry me. Beauty sighed. I'm sorry, Beast. You are very kind, but I don't want to marry you. I thought that might be the answer, said the Beast sadly, and left her alone. That night, Beauty had a strange dream. She was dining with a handsome prince. How can you bear to look at that ugly beast? He asked. He's not ugly inside. said the beauty. But he's the monster, said by the prince. How could anyone love a beast? Huh? Beauty woke up to the sound of birds singing. The prince from her dream had vanished. Is that all he was a dream? Beauty wondered. She spent the day wandering from room to room. The castle seemed empty without the beast beside her. Beauty was trying to choose a book from the library when she noticed a portrait. She couldn't believe her eyes. It was the prince from her dream. At dinner that evening, she asked the beast about him. I dreamed of a prince last night, she said. And then I saw a painting of him in the library. Do you know who is he? I know him, said by the beast. But I haven't seen him for years. For the rest of the meal, the beast refused to talk anymore about the prince. After they finished, he asked her to marry him again. I like you, but I don't love you, Beauty said softly. I'm sorry, but I won't marry you. The beast sighed and said goodnight again. The next morning, Beauty watched her family in her mirror. She missed them more than ever. At dinner that evening, she hardly ate a thing. What's the matter? The beast asked her with a worried frown. I'm homesick, said by Beauty. The beast pulled the ring from his pocket. Oh, beast, I still won't marry you, she said quickly. The beast shook his head. This isn't a wedding ring, it's magic. It will take you back to your father. But you must promise me you will return in 2 weeks, he went on. I promise, said by Beauty. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, beast. Keep it safe in your pocket. When you are ready to return, put the ring on your bedside table, he told her. Beauty nodded. She put on the ring, and the room melted away. She felt herself falling and falling, until suddenly she was standing on solid ground again. She was back at home, and her father was staring at her open mouthed. Oh, father! She cried, throwing her arms around him. Chapter 7. Dying. Beauty quickly put a ring on her bedside table. A cloud of swirling smoke surrounded her. The next instant, she vanished. Beauty was back in the garden. The beast was lying under the rose bush, just as in her dream. Oh no! Beast, whispered Beauty, kneeling down beside him. The beast struggled to open his eyes. Is that you, Beauty? He asked. I'm dying. No! Beauty cried, horrified. Why? What happened? She stroked his velvety face and kissed him. You can't die. Please. Please, I love you. Don't die. That was a blinding flash and a defending bang. The beast disappeared. A second later, there was another, brighter, fresh, and an even louder bang. Kneeling before her was the handsome prince. You were in my dream. And independent, Beauty cried. Who are you? What happened to my beast? She asked. Her mind was spinning. The prince smiled. I am your beast. Many years ago, he explained, an angry fairy turned me into a beast because I refused to marry her. Only the love of a beautiful girl could make me human again. But why? But why were you dying? Beauty asked. The fairy said, if I loved a girl who did not love me, I would die of a broken heart. The prince replied. You don't need to be afraid, said by Beauty. I do love you. Beauty and the prince were married the next day in a church filled with roses. Beauty's sisters left early in a bad tempers. Why does she get to marry a prince? It's not fair. Life isn't fair, said a tiny voice. It was the fairy who had cursed the prince. Your sister broke my spell, she said. But at least I can give you exactly what you deserve. What? Yelled the sisters. As you have hearts of stone, the fairy declared, waving her a wand. That's what you will be forever. Then, feeling much better, she fell off to steal some wedding cake, and the sister will be stoned. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching and listening to my story, Beauty and the Beast.